go live, because if not, I lose you in the dip back there. So
Actually, a certain place.
it's a certain place, and I have to go over, going up the hill, and then we're going the highway because I'm running a little bit behind this morning. Unfortunately, my sciatic nerve said, guess what? We don't like you, so we're going to start acting up again. So that was last night. I hope you enjoyed the games we did with Fishy. I thought that was fun. I think I needed a little laughter and levity after the little bit. Of course, when they asked if, I think it was a goose was blind, or a goose was, it wasn't a goose that was blind, wearing sunglasses. And he came by and said I owed him $14. What would it be for? And I said yarn. Of course, right? It has to be. Going to a yarn shop, I do it. So I have to find my jewelry so I can stick that on while I'm talking to you. I know there's something I'm supposed to do. So I did do the winner for the Dog the Bounty Hunter. You can all see that that is closed. So I did do the winner. I have not announced it yet. I'm going to try my hardest to do it either today or tomorrow, but it has been chosen. And so the person will have, once the video is released, 72 hours to get back to us. If they do not, then we will go on to one more winner. And if not, then I probably will be reaching out to, hopefully it won't take that. I'll just keep going through. One thing that I want people to know is there was over 40 comments, but only 6 people put in the right word. So if you didn't put in the right word and you entered, of course, we extended it because we wanted everybody to have a chance to enter. But if you didn't put in the right word and you wanted to have a chance to win it, it requires that word. So just be paying attention for that when we do the Eli Yoder, that it does really, that word that we put in there for for us to pick from the random comment picker, that knows, and we do it towards the end of the video. And we do it because we want to make sure you watched the video to the end, which is just a requirement. And it just helps us make sure that you've done that. So maybe some people didn't want to enter, I don't know, but again, there was over 40 comments, but only 6 people put in the right word, so that's how many I had to choose from. So I did tell people a couple times, please go back and make sure that your comment and your word is correct, because if not, it won't be picked up by the random comment picker. So again, it may happen today or tomorrow. We have the picnic at the we have a luncheon at our church on Sunday. It's just a Sunday fellowship luncheon this Sunday, and then I'm going to be pretty tuckered afterwards. And then tomorrow, I'm trying to put this around. Tomorrow we're going to be going to see Elvis. So in the next couple of days, I promise you, the announcement will be, the winner will be announced, and then I'm going to restart trying to finish the Advent series. I know it's like really off the beaten path, but guys, it started snowing this morning. So, it is what it is. I'm trying really hard to get kind of back on track and back to everything. I was listening to, trying to finagle this necklace to work like I want it to. I was listening to someone last night, and it's something that I want to, as a grandmother, also instill in my future grandchildren, is that their worth is not dependent on what anybody else thinks. Only God is the one, and this is where I kind of, if I'm going to talk about God, it's going to be on the way to church, because I want everybody to feel welcome here. But it's not dependent on anybody else but God. And you can believe what you want to believe. You can feel it's up to yourself, and that's fine. But I hope to be able to instill, thank you, I can't talk. I haven't had my coffee, guys, yet. You know that. I'm instilling them that it isn't dependent on the way your hair is, or the car you drive, or what what's the way you look, or anything like that. It all depends on who you are and your integrity as a person and an individual. And I grabbed a ring. I guess I didn't. You usually wear a ring on that hand, and on my right hand, and for some reason it's not in here, so I must have dropped it. I brought it with me with everything, but maybe I didn't. Let's see if it dropped in here somewhere. If not, it is no big deal. But I hope to be able to instill that. I'm trying, guys. It's just not happening this morning. I guess I didn't. I must have dropped it. I thought I picked it up when I got everything, but apparently I didn't. This is not in here. There's a crushed candy cane in here. Oh well. Picked it up and must have dropped it on the floor. I felt something drop and I didn't think anything of it. So I usually on my right hand wear a ring. Maybe it's better when I'm dealing with all this food stuff that I know. But anyway. So I'm kind of going through a little bit of trying to find me and trying to work through all of this stuff. And I kind of know how to do it and I kind of don't. And I think trying to be quiet, I know for my family, has been like, that's not me. And it's not me to be very quiet and not want to conversate with anybody or talk with anybody, but it's what I certainly felt I needed. There's a llama down there, I think. Or it's a tree, I can't tell. It's what I think I've had to do in order to kind of just process all of this stuff that was going on. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think that there's some times where there's changes that go on in our lives. And I think that if we don't realize that those changes, as wonderful as they can be, change us. And we have to figure out who we are, how we want to go forward, how is it changing us? When I became a mother, I changed. When I became an aunt, I changed a little bit. And now I'm going into this next stage of my life. And, I changed when I became a wife a little bit. Just the life circumstances changed. Things I did and things I'm going to be doing differently. And, anybody out there that's a mom or going to be a grandmother or whatever it is, or a grandfather, or a dad, or whatever, please remember one thing. You cannot sit there saying to yourself, I need to be like so-and-so. You can't. I can be no other grandmother than myself. And I don't know how many grandkids I'll have total. Maybe I'll have 2 or 3. I don't know. But I think that also, depending on the child, it's going to be a little different. I'm a little different with my nieces and nephews. Not that they're any less special. They're just different personalities because they're unique and they're one of a kind. And I have my one niece. I love her to pieces, but she's much more quiet. And she's also one that if you fussed at her, she kind of just folds on in. And my other niece is just this rambunctious, wonderful, I call her my snuggle bug. Every time she sees me, she just wants to come and just sit on my lap and snuggle with me and talk with me. And she's just so bubbly. She's very different. So I handle my relationship with her a little differently because she's just different. And there's nothing wrong with that. She's unique. And so I think as as I become a grandmother and as I have grandchildren, depending on how many the Lord blesses me with, I'm going to probably handle each one of them just a little differently because they're going to be different. And I think that sometimes we try so hard to say, well, I'm not like the Joneses. I know it's a pun, but still. I'm not like the Joneses. Good. Anyway, I'm not like the Joneses, and so I'm trying to compare myself to this person. I'm trying to compare myself to this person or whatever it is. And you can't. You can't be anybody else's mother or like anybody else's mother than your own. Christina and my relationship, don't miss your turn, Mom, is different than the relationship that my mother and I had. It's different, and it's not ever going to be the same. I'm a different personality than my mother is. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think we also need to, with our kids, do the same thing. They need to know that, well, I wish you were like so-and-so. Well, I can't be like so-and-so because God only made one of me. Thank God he only made one of me. But we need to remind our kids the same thing. You cannot compare me. Well, so-and-so's mother lets them do that. Well, I'm not their mother, and I'm not that type of personality, and I'm not going to do that. That's not how I want to raise you. And so, because we all are different, because we are in this life and we're different, we have to just realize that that's kind of the way we need to run our lives. It's the saying I've said to you all, be proud of being yourself because everyone else is taken. And maybe people have felt over the past week or two, well, you really don't feel that. And it's not that I didn't feel that. I just was like, yeah, I am one of a kind. And I was kind of like, well, why did you have to make me this way and this way? And be like this and be like that and be like this. And so there's kind of been this internal battle that's been going on somewhat between me and God to say, okay, God, I don't like the way you made me. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Because people can bring us down. And people can, they just don't realize that their words and sometimes their actions can just take a life and something out of us. And I think people need to realize, listen, I can't change you. You can't change me. It doesn't mean that if we see something in a friend of ours that is concerning or something that is a little bit, that we wish that, maybe they need to improve or something that is concerning, we don't bring that to their attention. Of course we do. But we need to do it in a very loving way because we can crush a spirit if we don't. Or maybe, like for instance, I've recently said to my family, and even my daughter, who is on the spectrum, and sometimes her words come out as well as mine before thinking, or when she's upset or when she's angry. Please realize that the family member that did what they did in 23 to our family really affected me, and I kind of realized that I'm so much more sensitive to the fact that, oh my goodness, if I say the wrong thing or if I do the wrong thing, then they're never going to talk to us again. And my daughter says, Mom, you didn't do that. That's on them. And you've done everything you can to reach back and try to heal the relationship. They have chosen not to do that. And that makes me very, very sad. But you didn't do it. They did it. They could have worked it out. There really wasn't anything major that really you said. It was just them taking things in the totally wrong direction. So, guys, things and circumstances and life changes us, and it sometimes jades us, and we need to realize that. So you guys got to speak up for yourselves, and let people know, listen, I may be a little bit more sensitive when it comes to that now. And my family's realizing that that is something. My daughter is realizing that. And I have to realize that everybody's not going to do that. But when it has happened, we're, friends more than family, maybe have just gotten, we've had a disagreement, and they've kind of, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it is snowing. Kind of taken things a little bit, they've kind of just vanished or blocked me for a moment or whatever it is. Hasn't happened too often. I don't think they realize what that does. I am the kind of person that I really want to try to work things out with people, because people matter. Family matters a lot to me. People matter. It's just my personality. It's who I am. I had a wonderful friend tell me, you know what, Mary, you can be over the top sometime, but in a dang on good way. Because we need people like you that are a little over top, because it makes this world so much better. And you come from a place of love, and that meant the world to me. And guys, you guys are important. You guys mean the world to us, to Mom and me and Christina and everybody. We are so grateful for you. We're almost to church. It is snowing for what it is. It's about 24 degrees outside. It's cold. But it feels even colder than that. That's why I put it's cold, but we're on the way to church. So anyway, I think I'm coming out of whatever this is. I just don't know where I'm totally going yet, but that's okay. So with that being said, remember to be proud of you, because there truly is nobody else. Everyone else is taken. We need to go in the back. And keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. We have you covered. You have certainly had us covered. And with that being said too, think of it. Today is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad it is. Let me just show you for a minute. If you couldn't see it before, it is snowing. Can you not see the flakes on the window? You can see it there at the very end. All right, guys, we're out of here. We got to get in and get this stuff in. Love you all. Have a great day. See you tomorrow on the way to go see Elvis Epic. I'll let you know how it is. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good day. Love you all.